Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan Miller. If this is the first time you've been here before, I review boxing gear. Today I'm going to be reviewing, or actually doing an unboxing and first impressions of a pair of gloves I'm really excited about. Multiple people have asked me if I have these gloves, if I would review them, and I've said they've been on my list for a long time, just been waiting to pull the trigger. Finally did so. So I'm going to be unboxing and giving you my first impressions of a pair of BRYANT boxing gloves made in Mexico. So here we go. All right, so I got these directly from BRYANT Boxing. Follow him on Instagram. I'll put his name, his Instagram name down below. Also, you can get these gloves through Box Up Nation, and I'll put his Instagram link and website down below as well. But I got these at a little bit of a discount. So he was doing a sale, and I'd been interested in some of his gloves for some time, and I'm being careful as I do this. I don't want to cut the gloves. And so he was doing a sale, so I jumped on that, and then it turns out the pair that I wanted, they had some blemishes on them, and that was definitely, like, I was set on the color that I wanted. I was set on the size that I wanted as well. So I was fine with the blemishes. I got them at a discount, even a little bit more of a discount, so I was totally fine with that. So if in the video or in some of the close-up stuff I do, you see some of those blemishes on the leather, I knew that getting into this. That disclaimer. Oh, okay, so they come in a box. Let me get this out of here. So this is nice, clean box. BRYANT Boxing. This is nice. I'm actually surprised at how many boxing brands don't do something like this. So I think Fly does the nicest setup, the quality of the box, everything it comes in. Venom, I was really surprised at their pro boxing gloves. I have their Lomachenko gloves. If you haven't seen that video, check that out. But these are really nice. These are, I would put up there definitely with the Venom ones, and always appreciate it when companies do little things like that to make it better. So good on you, BRYANT Boxing. And oh, it's like a Velcro closure. Okay, and then inside got this drawstring, and they're in some plastic. Let me cut open the plastic. Okay, well, let me get these out, and then I will talk about them. So it comes in this like a drawstring backpack. That's nice. Appreciate that. Oh, sweet. Also, a pair of BRYANT Boxing hand wraps and business card. Oh, this is like heavy metal. This is like gold. Oh, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that before. Appreciate it. Awesome. Okay, so here we have, so these are 14-ounce lace-up, the name of the color, Texas Rose Yellow. That name is dope. So I've wanted a pair of yellow gloves for a long time. I know Kleto has like a classic training pair. Kletos are not my favorite as far as like the feel and shape of it. I can talk about that in another video. But yeah, even that's why you said, like, even though these have a couple little blemishes on them, we'll see. I didn't care. I wanted this yellow colorway. I wanted 14-ounce lace up. So I was totally fine with that. So first, let's talk about stitching. So looking across the back, we see, yeah, so the stitching around the cuff is good. The stitching across the label, so it's a triple cuff, as you can see here. The stitching is good. And these are welted seams, so again, these are made in Mexico, classic, traditional Mexican style boxing gloves, which I really like. And I know people who only use Mexican-made, Mexican-style boxing gloves, and these are some of their favorite or their absolute favorite. So that's why these have been on my list for a while now as a must-have, must-try out. And so far they're looking really good. But yeah, you get that classic, these welted seams that you have here. They look really clean. Stitching across the thumb, so I pay attention to this. This, I think, is where some manufacturers can get a little sloppy. These kind of grow and split, but this is a nice tight seam there. Split thumb, same color, but still a split thumb seam. Thumb attachment looks good, attached well, no problem. Going to the palm, double stitching around on the palm. Looks clean, looks straight. I don't see any frayed edges along the thumb. That looks good. Got some ventilation in the leather there. Again, welted seams all along. This is another place where it can kind of get tricky where all of this leather bunches up. But this is really nice along here. That stitching is really good. Yeah, okay. Stitching, I like it. That's great. Leather. As I said, yellow was definitely one of that, Texas rose yellow. These smell like Mexican boxing gloves. That might sound weird, but like when you open them up, it's kind of like a powerful smell, which is good. You know, a sign of high quality, genuine leather. Trying to get I would say, so these aren't the thickest leather, you know, of gloves I have. I would say my 1v1 use a thicker leather, but this does feel like really high quality leather. You know, I haven't put my hand in there yet, but it feels like a good medium where it's not so thick. Because when it gets too thick, sometimes they get really stiff and they can be uncomfortable. But if they're too thin, they break down and, you know, they don't last as long. This feels like a nice in the middle, and definitely smells like real, you know, what you're used to for Mexican style boxing gloves. So leather looks good. The liner. So if you've seen Bryant boxing gloves before, his liners are often, and this is his Imperial line, as it has here on the cuff, which is his higher end line. Some of his Imperial gloves, the liner is like this silky paisley design, you know, purples and teals and kind of flashy colors. This, we don't get that, which is fine, I knew that. So this is your traditional black, kind of, it's softer, kind of like a satin polyester liner. The stitching here is going all the way through. I like when brands do that because that tends to hold the liner in place so you don't get a lot of baggy, loose liner in the glove. We'll see when I try them on if that's the case, but right here it all looks tight. But yeah, the liner looks good. So that's great. So for me, the most important thing is fit and feel. So let's try these on. Those are soft. That's softer than I was expecting. Wow, okay, let me tighten these up. Get that full experience. So as I'm lacing these, I'm used to, a lot of Mexican style gloves use kind of a firm latex style of padding. So I was expecting, you know, something a little firmer than this, but this is a little softer, but I like it. It's still firm. It's not so soft, you know, that I don't think it's going to be protective. But that's a nice surprise. Okay, area by area, wrist. I mean, these are lace up. I've never had wrist problems before, but the wrist protection feels solid. This is round foam that you have here. It's pretty soft. Maybe, it's probably an inch thick on this side and on this side. And then you got the triple cuff back here, probably about an inch thick of padding. The diameter of the arm is tight enough that, you know, I could even go a little tighter on these if needed. And I use my lace and loops wrap around. Yeah, wrist protection on these feels good. And there's a decent amount of padding, so as you're protecting and you have your guard up, And this, with the seams going through on this triple cuff, this foam is even a little firmer. It's kind of bunched it all together, so it's really protective along the back of along the back of the wrist. That's nice. The thumb is really nice. So this seam here on the inside of the thumb, placed really well. It's firm, like it's secure. That's what I'll say. It's secure there, but it's not uncomfortable at all. It's not pinching, but it's secure enough that I don't imagine my hand moving side to side or twisting or rotating at all. It's nice and secure across the palm here as well. The leather is pretty tight through there, so I like that because I don't like my fist fishing around and moving around inside the glove. So the thumb seam, great. Good amount of padding across the back, and my thumb goes close to the end and kind of comes up like that. I don't see, it's got a lot of protection up here, so I don't see myself jamming. We'll see, I'll have to train with that, but overall placement of the thumb, comfortable. Padding along the back is good. So thumb placement's nice. Hand compartment. So with other Mexican gloves, this is where I can get more concerned. I like a more compact hand compartment, and that's part of the reason why I chose a 14 ounce and not a 16 ounce, is to get a little bit smaller of a glove, because with other Mexican style gloves, for example, like Cleto, when your hand's in here, and I don't have wraps on, the space between the top of your knuckles and where the padding on the inside of the glove can be large. Like I feel like in Cleto I have almost like 3/4 of an inch, a whole inch of space. Now you got hand wraps and maybe knuckle guards and whatever that might fill up some of that space, but it didn't seem to matter how I did that. At least like with gloves like Cleto, I could never fully fill up that space inside the glove. And for me, it's just not comfortable. I don't like it. So that's one of the reasons why I don't, comfortable, and yeah, for a comfort reason, that's why I don't like Cletos personally. These, there is a little bit of space, but I don't have any wraps on. So if I put wraps on and either my Skulltech gel guards or my Fortress fast wraps, nano or the regular, I can link all three. I have review of all three of those products. Check those out. My hand would be in here, would be fitting really nicely. So there's enough room for either of those products with wraps to accommodate in here. So that's really nice, because I was a little nervous if these would be really big and spacious like some other Mexican style gloves can be. So that's really nice. Fingertip compartment is great. It's plenty of space. My fingers aren't crunched up or anything. They're sitting side by side. And I even have maybe just a little bit of space on the side. So it is, there's some rolled up material here on this seam, which I always like because it just gives your fingertips something to curl down on and get your fist to turn over. So you get a nice position for your hand, nice flat punching surface. It's comfortable along the fingertips. It might be felt. It feels a little softer than felt. But I don't feel the seams. That's the main point. So not every company does that. Along the seams, you can feel them, and in my opinion, I don't really care that I feel the seams, but the more my fingertips rub against them, I'll tear out the seams, and the fingertip compartment breaks down, and these seams bust too early, and then you either fix them or get another pair. But these are covered, and it's really comfortable. Wow. Yeah, this overall comfort of the hand compartment is excellent. I'm very excited. I'm really pleased with these. My big two concerns I had about the hand compartment were overall size. Was my hand going to be swimming around inside this compartment? No, and it's not super tight, super compact. I probably have an inch of space here on the side, and again, no wraps or anything, so I'll throw my wraps on, and either my Skulltech or Fortress fast wraps, they'll have room for that. So that'll be excellent. The other is I've heard some people say that along these knuckles right there, there's like where the padding because again, from probably about here to here, that's where there's a little bit more padding than there is in the rest of the glove, that they could feel that transition and that it rubbed against their knuckles and it was kind of uncomfortable. At least the way my knuckles are turned over, I can feel in there when I scoot my hand back, like I know what they're talking about, but the way my hand sits in here, I don't see that happening. So I didn't know if that was going to be an issue for me, but it doesn't look like it's going to be. So that's great. Yeah, I'm very, you can kind of get an idea for the leather and just overall kind of how soft the glove is. I can open my hand up pretty easy. This should break in nicely. Man, I want to go try these out now. These fit great. I have no complaints with the size, with the comfort, and I'm very pleasantly surprised with the padding in here. It's firm enough that I think it's going to get really good feedback on the bag, but I do like, you know, it to be soft enough to be able to feel my knuckles, you know, a little bit of a puncher style, you know, feel my hands coming through. So yeah, these are excellent. Yeah, check them out. All right, guys, so that was my unboxing and first impression of the BRYANT Boxing Imperial line Texas Rose Yellow 14-ounce lace-up boxing gloves, made in Mexico. I am very impressed. Overall quality, stitching, the liner, the leather, the padding, very impressed. Very high quality, what I would expect from a high quality made in Mexico boxing glove. I'm super pleased with these. These are awesome, and especially with the sale that he was offering, that was a no-brainer. So hope you guys like this review. Again, I mentioned some other products, other gloves and other products I've reviewed. I have a link for all those down below, so be sure to check those out. Follow me on Instagram. Name is Jordan Miller on YouTube. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of my upcoming videos, and subscribe to the channel, please. That's one of the things that helps me out the most, helps me continue to create this content. And comment down below if you've tried these, if you have any questions about these, and I'll be sure to get back to you, or follow me on Instagram. We can talk there. I talk with a lot of people who follow on the channel there as well. Hope you guys like this unboxing and first impression of these BRYANT Boxing Imperial training gloves, and I'll see you guys next time.